You're listening to the Urban Sports Scene with Wole. I'm Wole, and this will be our Commanders NFL Combine edition. We got a cool guest live from Indy. Before we get to all that, let's knock out some logistics. Subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and other podcast platforms. Just search the Urban Sports Scene. Also, subscribe to our Urban Sports Scene YouTube channel. Please hit that red subscribe button and like this video. We're on the march for 1,000. We're almost there, so please go to our YouTube channel, hit that red subscribe button, and also, again, like this video. Don't forget to tweet us at Urban Sports Scene. Hit us up on IG and TikTok at Urban Sports Scene, and also like our Urban Sports Scene Facebook page. Also, join our Urban Sports Scene Facebook group. Search Urban Sports Scene, sports bloggers, sports podcasters, and sports debates. All right, let's get into our tradition, the pregame. Here's what we have on tap. Founder of CWall Sports and Entertainment and Bowie TV's Washington Commanders reporter Candi will join me live from the NFL Combine in Indianapolis to talk about day one of the Combine and potential Commanders prospects. Then we'll also talk about the Commanders shopping defensive tackle Jonathan Allen. So let's introduce Candi let's introduce Candi. What is going on, Candi?
Hey, yeah, it doesn't look so bad.
It's not bad, Candi. What you do? See, we're not doing this to Candi. We're not going to do this. We're not going to do this. We're not going to do this.
We're trying to do it right. Oh, nothing. Then I feel like I'm being loud in the hallway, but whatever.
First off, how was Indy?
You know, I've been to Indy now a few times, right? Like I've been in the Combine, and it's my third year in a row. I was here when the Commanders played the Colts. And then I was here for NBA All-Star Weekend last year. And so Indy is one of these places where, in my sorority had a convention here. So like for conventions and stuff like that, Indianapolis is like perfect. If you're just like here, it's not much to do. Not much to do at all. But it's good because everything, like the convention center, is connected to like 6 or 7 different hotels. It's, Lucas Oil is like right there. So it's got some good steakhouses. Everything is like on the same general area and street. So that's why it's pretty good for that.
So I'm seeing some of your stuff on IG, some IG stuff. I know IG and on X. How is the vibe? How is like the Combine atmosphere in terms of like for adults? For adults.
Well, if you use your clues,
and don't be old, don't put everything out there. I'm just saying a little bit.
I will not.
Okay.
I will just say that use your clues. When you asked me to do the show at 9:30, I was like, "That's no." I rarely tell you no. I like never tell you no, but I was like straight up like, "Nah, it's not the way you want it. No." And then I know Karita was kind of like, when I mentioned it to her, she was like, "It would have been entertaining." I'm like, "Yeah, but no." Been very entertaining, but nope, no, that's right in the thick of things. No way.
I respect that.
So that gives you your answer.
Yeah, I respect that. Yeah, draft the big guys early. Yeah, I know, right? There's a lot of guys who got a lot of potential. What's going on, man? Thank you, appreciate you. But yeah, I could tell. Like I saw the vibe. I was like, I like the vibe. That's how.
It would be totally. It would be totally your type of vibe. Nothing too crazy. If you get what I'm saying to you.
Yeah, you say it.
But I have a new phrase now that I'm gonna wear it out. I'm like, I think I'm aged out of all of these vibes. Like, I gotta go to bed.
Gotta go. I agree. I understand that though.
I gotta go to sleep because it's not gonna work.
No. I understand. Like I've seen that for myself.
And the right type of shoes matter. Yeah. Like I have already converted to my practice shoes. I said this is bad. Like I'm at Combine wearing the shoes that I wear to practice because I'm like my feet I tore up. So
man,
it's a lot of walking. It's a lot of everything. It's
a lot of walking out there.
It's a lot of walk. Yeah, just going from place to place.
Place to place. Got you.
Yeah.
That is insane.
It's not far. It's just you're just moving a lot.
Of course. So what's the so in terms of, and that's what we're going to now talk about the profession now, the profession in terms of the day-to-day and just covering like not today, because I'm not gonna use today as an example, because today is not it was when activities are really propping up. But you have for like Monday through Wednesday, right? Monday through Wednesday, interviews and whatnot. What's all that process? How is that vibe? How is the energy, and how in terms of like the workload for yourself within that process Monday through Wednesday?
You know what's so bizarre to me? And I think I might have posted it. Like on Tuesday, I was crazy busy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yo, why am I working so hard? But I think last year, the Commanders had the number two pick,
Mm-hmm.
but all the focus was on the number two pick.
Yes.
And everybody knew they was going to get a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was like the first 15 seconds of Adam Peters' press conference last year. He was like, here to find a quarterback. Okay. And so I think all of the focus was there.
Mm-hmm.
I think where, for me, and I saw a lot of my other colleagues, just not on the Commanders beat, but like across, there's so many teams that need quarterbacks. There's so many teams that need certain things. I think we're seeing, a lot of transition, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
we've seen a lot of key veteran players announced that they were seeking trades. The team said that they were going to trade them. I mean, it's just a lot of things that seems to be in flux for different teams. So it's almost like trying to find like the use your clues game
Yeah.
of everybody trying to figure out what everyone else is doing
Mm-hmm.
to figure out what their team is doing was like way up this year.
Mm-hmm.
Way up, you know? So interviews with GMs and coaches start Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Interviews with players start Wednesday, but there was still coach and GM interviews on Wednesday. But
Mm.
but now it's just player availabilities from here on out, and then the drills in the afternoon and evening. So it's almost like once the drills start, it's like we can chill now,
Mm-hmm.
But it's player availabilities right up until Saturday morning,
I figured that.
you
Okay.
know. And a lot those are early mornings, and like they start at like 8, and then drills don't end till like 8:30, 9 o'clock at night.
Mm-hmm.
So and then it's a bunch of meetings and a whole lot of just stuff all throughout the day. So then you have to really like start to pick into, like, for example, I'm here,
Yes.
and before this I was working, on this show, and just trying to use my clues to figure some things out, like what
Yeah.
they're gonna do free agency and draft, and I have not been over the drills,
Yeah.
you know. So I've been
Mm-hmm.
working in the media workroom. I'm sitting outside the media workroom.
Mm.
Um, and so it's just, but like Karita Lake, they're in drills.
Yeah.
We it just alternates the day,
Yeah.
depending on what you did the night before. But also,
Hey man, you gotta live the lessons of life. That's how I look at it.
listen, but it be people outside,
Yeah.
and you might talk to people or find out what's going on or what's
Mhm.
happening, and so
Hey, Mama Waller, making sure you
hey,
always
ma,
out here.
you should make sure I was okay. Check in.
But yeah, I agree. I do think, well, I do think one, you need to always have fun when you're out there. So it's
Mhm.
good to kind of enjoy it. But in terms of like mentioning, today mentioning day one of actual activities of combine. Today was like the linebackers and defensive linemen today. Right now, it's pretty much D tackles are working out there. Um, but for you, like, do you so far in terms of in the interview process, not just the workouts, but in terms of the interview process, um, has anybody you've seen to yourself like, all right, this person, because they're the way they carry themselves, for you, not like the Commanders, but for you, is anybody you see like, you know what, that person could be a Commander. I like his temperament. I like his the way he holds himself, and maybe and his body of work in college.
Yeah, I had reposted one,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm about to go find it. Um, because I think it's an important point.
Mm-hmm.
And shout out to JP Finlay. I think he got this story like during Super Bowl week.
Mm-hmm.
But Penn State tight end Tyler Warren.
Oh, tight end.
When you
Okay,
start
yeah.
telling, when you start telling stories like my dad said, I want you to run like John Riggins,
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
you're gonna be like, what? This kid been
Mm-hmm.
watching John Riggins film? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It makes your ears perk up. We're being
Mm-hmm.
real honest, and that's
Mm-hmm.
just being real. And I mean, I think other than that, I mean, from a defensive tackle perspective,
Uh,
there have been some that have been
sure.
impressive, and I chatted with my draft analyst that I call him, my little brother Cortland Griffin, where he's like, okay, Darius Alexander, Derek Harmon, and C.J. West have all been very impressive, and I was like, I can agree with that.
Yeah.
Just from what I heard or saw, in conversations around media availability,
Mhm.
and then based on what they're seeing over at drills, kind of like they're kind of bubbling to the top from a defensive tackle perspective of like overall performance, if that makes sense. From an availability and how they're performing in drills. Um, you know, Commanders long shot would never, I don't think they would be in the running for this player at all because he's a
Yeah.
Heisman Trophy winner. But I mean, when you listen to like a Travis Hunter
Oh
talk
yeah. Hmm.
and someone who's just really confident, but like really super humble, I mean, it's almost like because I've been thinking a lot about, um, and I see the question Gabe is not.
Yeah. I don't think he
Um,
is though. I don't think Gabe is.
yeah, Sean Taylor's brother.
Yeah, he's not.
Um, but when you look at last year's rookie class
Hmm.
and you see the characteristics, you see the traits, right? All the captains of their teams and just how they are, where it's almost like a quiet confidence, you
Hmm.
know, almost like that, almost like a quiet storm, so to speak.
Hmm.
That's kind of what I've been trying to decipher. Like, who has that? And they've heard certain words used between poise and all that to describe Jaden, but when you
Hmm.
really look at the starters from the rookie class last year and the rookie class overall, I mean, that was a heck of a start
Yeah, it was. It was a great start.
yeah, it's a great start. And also trying to think about those that can come in and make an impact immediately.
Hmm.
I think it's safe to say they're looking for starters.
Yeah.
These aren't individuals that they want to come in and develop. I mean, you're going to be developing along the way and learning things all the time, but it really is who can come in and play and also be a fit to the culture that they have. One thing that Dan Quinn said in his press conference yesterday was like, he knows his way of doing things is not for everybody.
Hmm. Uh,
And if to me that was still big because you look at, you know, when have we ever heard or had a number one ranked head coach across
yeah.
the league, you know?
Hmm.
And I got a lot of use your clues and just all of that, right? With the NFLPA survey coming out and just all of the feedback that I've even been hearing, where it's like people want to play for the Washington Commanders.
Yeah.
Like they pitching themselves something crazy in some of these conversations. Like they want, like, who would have ever thought
That folks want to play here.
where veterans, I mean, we've been talking about that all year.
Hmm.
Veterans want to be in Washington, but where rookies are like, man, I want to, that's wild.
Hmm.
Where
And
they
it's
coming in, almost nervous. They're always nervous, but like,
mhm.
please, Commanders, pick me. It's something.
Mhm. It's a good vibe. It's a
So,
good. It's definitely a good vibe. Yeah, but go ahead,
mhm.
continue. Sorry. Go ahead. Go
Oh
ahead.
no,
I
no,
ain't
no. I was just saying that they've set a very high bar
mm-hmm.
in year one that it doesn't appear there's any. I mean, that's the bar,
Mm-hmm.
and we already know that that's not really the bar because they want to win Super Bowls. So what is it going to take for them to win? Where are the holes, the genuine holes, right? Because there's so many free agents.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and where do they fit that in terms of best available in free agency and the draft?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a puzzle, like Adam Peters told me, it's a puzzle, but I think you can figure it out.
Yeah, Shelly says hoping Miles Garrett wants to be a commander. Definitely. I think he does want to be a commander, Shelly.
I mean, I think so. I mean, hey, Brown's leadership is talking real tough.
Yeah.
You know, they don't want to. I mean, who would want to trade Miles Garrett? Anybody want to trade him?
They don't want to, but they got
Um, but
to.
they don't want to, and unless he, I've been having conversations around here about that. Unless
Mm,
he starts to hold out or do something like that, that costs a lot of money.
mm-hmm.
Um, or that could just be tough talk because they like, well, how much you gonna give us for him?
Facts, yeah.
Because for the right price, anybody can get got. So that just
Mm-hmm.
is what it is.
Yep. So yeah, I'm with you. Hey, so anybody in the chat, folks in the chat, if you got a favorite player that you so far you've seen in the combine that you wanted to just kind of rap about, let us know. From the D line, D tackle situation. The edge rushers hasn't been out yet, but in terms of D tackles, there's a couple guys I actually saw that I kind of liked. I was watching, I was like, all right, but I don't expect them to be drafted in the first round. I think the first round is going to be like obviously. I think the first round will be allocated to maybe an edge rusher, cornerback, maybe wide receiver, possibly. But I don't even want a wide receiver. For like when you give up so many yards on the ground, I think that you need to kind of worry about your defense. But the guys that I kind of liked, I like the kid from Florida State. I thought he was pretty nice, and Joshua Farmer. Thought he was smooth. A kid from Virginia Tech, Aeneas Peoples. I thought he was pretty good too. I thought he was quick. I like I like body of work more than just combine work though. I like a guy who can match up both. So in
Mm-hmm.
terms of that, I think that for a role, I think you get them in the third round is cool because I think they can kind of help this team in the third. Like there are guys who can help this team in terms of again stopping and run. I feel like, and we'll get to Jonathan Allen. I feel like they've gotten the guys they brought inside, and Jonathan Allen and Payne is no knock on them. I think they're really good. I think they're good D tackles. I'm not gonna be like everybody else, but I do think they're guys who want to rush the passer, right? Those are guys that you expect them to try to get sacks. They're not guys who can plug in and say, "Hey, stop the run." They're not those type of guys. Well, in this system, they're not those type of guys. Let me correct myself. So I think they need to get guys who can clog the middle. I actually like Yaya Black out of Iowa. I thought he'd be good. Dude's like 324, tall, 6'5". I saw him like run the combine, run the 40. I felt like with his build, he would be a guy that I could feel like in the third, fifth round they can draft up. But I kind of like what he can bring in. Deluxe said, what did Deluxe say? Deluxe said first round lineman either side of the ball. Yeah, I mean I don't know. Like I feel like I want an edge rusher in the first round. Deluxe. Like I feel like that's why I can't wait for the edge rushers. I want an edge rusher in the first round. I think if you get I feel like I want an impact player, a guy who can really do work in the first round. I think you got Johnny. You got Johnny to be an interior. I think you're pairing Johnny with Payne. I think that's the look right now. I think everybody else is depth. So I don't know if I would draft a guy who's going to play as a first rounder where I'm going to play Payne and Johnny already starting. I want my first rounder to start. I'm not going to lie to you. I want my first rounder to start.
Oh yeah, I mean, whoever.
Yeah.
I mean, they were starters last year. Like, I mean, I don't think there is a question. Whomever they draft will start. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're talking, using our clues from last year.
Yeah.
Of course, obviously Jaden, but I'm talking Mikey Sarah still, Brandon Coleman, Johnny Newton once he was healthy. Like I think there's zero question about whether or not. I mean, and when I went back and looked at some of those games, because Javante dealt with some injuries this past
Baptiste. I
season
like
too.
Baptiste. I like
Yeah,
him.
and so, but he was in the mix.
Yeah.
He was
I like
definitely in
him.
the mix. Jordan McGee dealt with some injuries, but he was in the mix from a special teams perspective. These guys are not going to be guys that do not see the field. I think the only one who really didn't see the field was Dominique Hampton, but I think he's in the clutch, and getting him ready for this year should definitely be seeing the field. I mean, these are guys that are they're going to start. That's how this team. That's how they rock.
Yeah.
They're not picking anybody up so that everybody can teach them. Nope, you got to be ready to go.
Yeah.
And they have 7 picks, which Adam Peters shares is a full allotment of picks. And who knows who knows what's going to really happen. But if they use it and use their first rounder, yeah, I mean games are won in the trenches at the line of
Yeah.
scrimmage. I don't think they could go wrong at all with the best available
I
on
agree
either
with that.
side of the ball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And on either side of the ball, best available, you're not gonna miss.
Yeah.
Unless another thing I think is really
Exactly.
important of a user your clues
Yeah.
is once they really get into the trenches, right? These guys they're following these players and they're pressure testing their assumptions about the type of people these players are, but also the type of players there are. It's both of them, right? But they're tracking them for like 6 months,
Mm-hmm.
right? So by the time you get to the combine, some of these players have played in East West Shrine, they played in the Senior Bowl, they played in the Hula Bowl. They've been in some of these all-star collegiate game settings, and they've already been interviewed in these settings. Then after combine, they still have their pro days.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, it's was your 6 months of fact finding prior to the all-star games or any of that. Now you're solidifying, okay, who do we want? What is this? But then goes back like the players that you're mentioning
Mm-hmm.
and that we're all mentioning. Are they captains?
That's a good
Are they
point.
captains? What kind of family they come from? What kind of background do they have? What's their why? You
Mm-hmm.
know, what matters to them? Because now they have a system if they work, and that's why I say use your clues. Okay, based on the ones that you name it, who a captain?
Mm.
Whoever's not, take them off your list.
Mm.
Okay, so we see that they're captain. All right, now let's continue to drive and dig deeper on that, right?
Mm.
Because they want leaders. Period. You know, um, and I think that they're going to get them. Um, the Commanders move this organization. They move quiet. They
Mm-hmm.
move quiet, but if you're paying attention, you can figure out the answers.
I agree.
Um, and so it's just
I
one of those
agree.
things because some of them they don't look bad. I mean, you can go anywhere either way, you know.
Mm.
And like I said, if they decide to keep the 29 the first rounder, it's I don't think they can go wrong lineman on either side of the ball. That's available.
Yeah, I think it's a good point. If they decide to keep the first
If
rounder,
they decide to keep
that's
it,
because everybody's talking about Miles Garrett. Like if they trade the first rounder, arguably they're trading this for a player, to come here to Washington. That's what I think. That's going to be a
hmm
player that's going to come to Washington. But
hmm
yeah, Cornell, I agree. This is like I was watching him. I was like, this dude is kind of impressive. I like his footwork. I thought he moved well for a D tackle. So I agree with you about Peebles from Virginia Tech. He did look good. Shelly said she's seen wide receiver, edge rusher, tackles, different analysts kind of predict the Commanders' first round pick.
Well,
Um,
here's another thing that I think is an important point,
Go
right?
ahead.
And this goes back to my question to Adam Peters, which I posted
Mm-hmm.
maybe an hour or so ago, which was how do you prioritize
There you
where
go.
you focus, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what it comes down to. How do you prioritize it right now? Because we're not counting free agents, you guys cannot count the free agents because they haven't locked
Mm-hmm.
them in yet. Um, the Commanders have the second least players on their roster currently because they have so many free agents. So you have to look where you absolutely don't have anyone, right?
Yeah.
And based on where you don't have anybody locked in on your roster, you have to now you go best available
Yeah.
based on the free agent, based on the draft. And that is an exercise in itself.
Yeah.
So if we go in linemen, and let's say offensive linemen, because I still think that's a quiet topic nobody's really talking about.
Oh, I think it's a
I
topic. I
mean,
don't. I think it's definitely there. I just feel like it depends
mhm,
on who drops at 29, right? Because
right.
typically, ideally, like you don't really get because you saw with the Cowboys, you saw even with the Chiefs. Um, You could draft a left tackle late, but they tend to. It's really not a guarantee that they're going to pan
Mhm,
out to be the left tackle that you need, or offensive lineman, the tackle you need. So like, and typically you draft your guys, your left tackles that early, right? Like in the first round. So you try to get them as early as possible. I won't act like I know how deep this tackle class is. 'Cause I'm not gonna lie and say I know how
mhm,
deep this left tackle class is.
mhm,
Um, but we'll see. Like I think tackle is definitely to your point. I think tackle is definitely I think
Yeah,
the tackle
I
in this
mean, you need a
draft.
right one. They need a
Huh?
right one. They need a
Yeah.
right one.
Yeah.
And so, and then it becomes a is the spot available
Mm-hmm.
based on the roster, and is it and if it is available, is who they have, who they could get
Mm-hmm.
that was here last year, is that better? Who's better than that player
Yeah. This is true.
that is a commander?
There's a commander. Yep.
Right? Because that commander standard and that definition, and that's one thing that Dan Quinn opened up with his press conference about, is one thing he didn't know last year that he knows this year is what it means to be a commander. They had a
Mm.
picture of it, but now they actually have seen it.
Mm.
So now they know these are the types of people, these are the types of men, these are the types of players that we want. So it's like, okay, we were asking about players. I think I see Paul's question about Kenneth
Yeah.
Grant. Well, it becomes a okay from a defensive tackle perspective. Is he better than who they have on the current roster?
Mm. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Is he
I feel like
better?
it should be.
Because you know what I mean. But it's like,
Yeah.
is he? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
is he? And those are the questions that these scouts that they're mirroring, and they're also trying to actually simulate when they're thinking through their game schedule and the teams that they have to play, right? Because that's another piece of it. It becomes a when you have to match up against these teams, are you better? Is that player better
Mm-hmm.
than who's on the other side of that scrimmage line? If we're talking linemen, or if we're talking DBs, are they can they how they match up against a receiver, right? Or in some cases, how they match up against tight ends. It really becomes a you like this one, you like this one, you like that one,
Yeah.
but are they better
Yeah.
than who they currently have? Like genuinely, like for real, are they better than who they currently have, and how are they going to match up against the schedule that they have? Because that's what you got to prepare for in terms of getting to the Super Bowl.
I will say, like the guys they draft, like the positions they need drafting, they better be better. Like that's what I mean. Like the dudes that like the positions that we are talking about. If you're a first rounder, you gotta be better than the people that you're gonna replace.
Hmm.
I'm just gonna be honest with you. If you're not better than then you did a bad job drafting. That's how I
I
look at
mean,
it.
yeah, I mean, I think we know the answer. Like
Yeah,
these are people if they are getting drafted by this Washington Commanders. This ain't the Washington Commanders are old. They
exactly.
proved that these
Yeah,
people are playing.
yeah,
They're drafting them to play.
yes.
They're getting free agents to play.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just who's better though. I think and that was what really intrigued my thinking was like it's a good point. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
are they better than who you currently have?
Yeah,
You
and I'm
know,
saying like I'm
because
saying like
they got to be able to come out and perform. So if we say, okay, like going back to say, I said they need a right tackle. Okay, I believe that, right?
yeah. Are they better
And
than
maybe he
Wiley?
replaces like a left guard. Is this player better than Andrew Wiley?
Probably so.
You know what I mean? Like in terms of is he better than Andrew Wiley, and does he have the commanders?
The commander thought process. I got you talking about now.
Because
Yeah.
then when you go back to conversations that we've had with the around Andrew
Yeah.
Wiley, you'd be like, dang, I didn't even know he was bringing all that to the
Yeah.
offensive line room.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the mix of free agents, because we also have to remember this is not a situation they have proved to us. This staff has proven to us. This is not a situation where they got years and time to develop people. They have
Mm-hmm.
zero interest in that.
Yeah.
This is Super Bowl bound, championship winners
Mm-hmm.
or bust. So it has to be, is this a player that is a commander and is going to take us to the next level? And it's a lot of different pieces of this that I didn't really think about previously. But it is a puzzle, and it's actually quite interesting and fun to think through, because it's like, okay, you pick the players you want them to draft. And like I said, ask the question, are they better than who they have on the current roster? And how would they match up against who they have to defend or who they have to go up against on the schedule? That is a long exercise, but it's an exercise if you started doing it now, and then you get checkups on their pro days and how they perform in their pro days. That between now and draft, you can probably come up with a really good mock draft.
Yeah, I think read some comments real quick. Paul said, "How about your boy Kenneth Grant? Okay, he didn't run. He's injured, so he's gonna work on in his pro day for Michigan. He's probably Some have him as the second best D tackle, some don't. So he should be, but he's there from what I've seen the mocks, and I hate going by mocks. He could land to Washington, but it goes to Candy's point. I will say this though: is he better than
Is he
who you're going to
better?
replace than Jonathan Allen? Will he be better than Jonathan Allen? Will he be
That's
better
right.
than
That's right.
um? Will he be better than Jerzon? Will he be better than Payne? You know what I mean? He'd be a rotation. I think he could be. Don't get me wrong. Like he has the skill set to be phenomenal. But I do think there's questions there too as well.
Yep.
You know what
Yep.
I
And
mean?
that's the thing. It's got to be sure.
Yeah.
And when you think about going back to the points that we're making about who started and who played, look at where they were drafted last year and they were expected to play.
Mm-hmm.
You got to go in and compete. That goes back to are you better than?
Yeah.
But these guys compete at a very high level.
Yeah.
I won't say who it was or who it is, but I ran into one of the teams. I ran into one of the free agents because people out here doing business. So I did run into one of the free agents for the team, and he shared with me whether he wanted to stay or go or whatever the case may be. It is very competitive to be a Washington Commander.
Oh, I know.
Okay,
I could.
this ain't a game no more, y'all. They serious.
Yeah.
They for real over there in Ashburn.
No, no, I
Okay,
know that. I
and
know
Dan
that.
Quinn, people love him, but he does not play.
No, I
And
know.
and, and, and so that's why I'm like, yo, once I got information, starting to get information about what real life is like with these people, like real life, they like you gotta be able to perform at a very
That's
high
true.
level quickly.
No,
I mean,
I
you got to
totally.
earn it. Ain't nobody gonna give you anything. But that's why I keep saying, okay, yeah, I'm even saying that about Andrew White. I say it about Nick Allegretti as well, right?
Mm.
But can they beat him?
Mm.
Can they beat him for that spot?
I would hope so. That means it's a big problem. You can't. Shelly said we've been talking about offensive line for over 10 years, ready to build one up through the draft now that we have AP. I think we all
Well,
have faith
but
in
let's
AP.
also say this. This probably is the offensive line did very well last year. We not. I'm not trying to be like, oh, I think they did very well. They got punished against the Eagles
Yeah.
defensive line, but most people do. All
Hmm.
right, most teams do. All right, so I'm not going to get up here and try to drag them, but if I know if there's opportunities to get better,
Yeah.
they should. And those are two positions that I would call out, but I can't say when in the whole season you won 14 games overall, the whole entire,
Hmm.
regular season in the second season, and they'll be like, man, this O line, nah.
No, I think that
You know what
you.
I mean? I ain't gonna say that,
No, no.
but they
I
got to
think
be
that.
able to, that
Yeah.
second game, that second, really the first game against the Eagles. I keep mentioning the Eagles, but that wasn't the only game we saw some struggle. We really started to see some struggle once people started getting injured.
Yeah, but also I do think that you measure yourself if you want to be a champion, you measure yourself against the champions, and
Hmm.
you know like the way your offensive line is constructed as it is, it doesn't hold up against the Eagles' defensive line. It just
No, you got to
doesn't.
say if you're getting not.
Yeah.
But
So.
like I said, but that one thing I will say this week,
Hmm.
everybody
Hmm.
is trying to figure out how to beat the
Yeah,
Philadelphia
and
Eagles.
everybody's gonna, and if you're playing them,
Literally,
everybody's gonna draft or sign like
everybody
it's gonna go for trying to stock up their offensive line
is
because you know like
definitely a
that.
thing.
Yeah. So as I'm saying, like if you're Washington, you're because they're in your division, you're
You're in
going
the
to be
division,
like, yeah, you're going to be like, all right, how do we beat the Eagles? And you're going
right?
to look at, all right, we may like this player, but this player may be better to help us play against the Eagles. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, like if you look at the run game, and not even just rushing the passer, like the run game, they were already in the backfield most of the time. Like a lot of people
Hmm.
blame B Rob for some of the stuff, but they were already in the backfield. Like there was no running
Hmm.
lanes. Like they were getting, not to be mean, but they were getting bullied. They were getting bullied on the block by the
Oh
Eagles.
yeah, I mean,
So
everybody saw what they did to the Chiefs,
yeah,
and that's when it woke everybody up.
yeah,
Like, oh,
yeah,
this is what, because all of a sudden now you have gone back to old school of defense wins
yeah.
championships. We're not going to see an offensive battle. We're not going to see a shootout. Not up in here. Not up
Mm-hmm.
in here. But we also understand, too, you got to go back to the very important point of the fact that the Philadelphia Eagles were just there 2 years
Yeah.
ago and got beat by that team. Now, of course, it was a couple fluke plays, in my opinion, of how they won, but they still got beat. They still lost.
Yeah.
So they really had to understand what is it going to take to beat them.
Yeah.
So basically, what they did was very similar to what the Tampa Bay Buccaneers did when the Chiefs beat them. I mean, when the Bucks beat the Chiefs, excuse me.
Yeah. I know what you're saying. I know what
So
you're
that's
saying.
what they did. You know what I mean? But you,
Mm-hmm.
but the lesson in that is, which is going to be similar to how the Commanders responding, right?
Yeah.
To how they lost in the NFC Championship.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to hurt real bad in order for you to understand where you need to beef up.
Facts.
Like where you really need to beef up. This team was excellent
Yeah.
comparatively speaking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Comparatively speaking, the fact that they even, I mean, I really had to put in a frame of reference, and I'm in media, right? But
Yeah.
they traveled for the last month of the season. The
Yeah.
regular season game, Dallas, right? Last regular season, Dallas, then to Tampa Bay, then to Detroit, and then to Philly. That's still road games.
Yeah. That's true. Good point.
They played. That was hard.
Mm-hmm.
What they did, and I think, and that is why we ended up being so busy this week because it
Mm-hmm.
was really understanding the puzzle and how they think.
Mm-hmm.
Best available versus is the best available better than the person you got currently on your roster? It's a lot of things, and how does it measure up to the schedule?
Shay, like, give us a tea about that player. Shawty, like, give us the tea. Hey, Shelly, you
Yeah,
funny. Give us the tea, Candy.
I mean, I just had to pressure test some of my assumptions
They
with
did.
said player,
Yeah.
and they were just like,
Yeah, not getting the push and run the game. Yeah, they're not. They don't pass. They don't run block the best at time. Towards the end of the season, in the beginning of the season, they were. Towards the end of the season, they weren't.
and I
Um.
think that second season is a real thing. Durability, you know,
Hmm.
and shout out. I think we haven't given enough credit to the Commanders training staff. Remember years ago, we used to be like, this training staff must be putrid because he was
Hmm.
always getting hurt. So they did a very good job holding him up.
It's a bad idea. Wiley can play guard
Well,
until
well,
Cosby
I,
gets
I
hurt.
saw that comment, and I'm just, Dan Quinn made a comment, inside guys
Yeah,
that can be outside or outside guys that can go inside. So be looking for that type of
that rhetoric.
ability because we also saw what a Mikey Sanders still was able to do. But
Yeah,
they
that's a good
probably
point.
trusted and saw that Mikey could probably do it because he's so smart.
Hmm.
He's so smart. He wants to continuously improve. So a lot of this is about
Yeah.
high football IQ as well.
Uh, you say, bro, folks were always hurt
Oh
years
yeah,
ago.
oh yeah. That's
Mason.
what I'm saying. It's that training staff and that training
That's a good point.
that
Quick, Handy.
recovery, the
Yeah.
recovery period when you really start. Because remember, I told you all, and I ended up telling some of the players. They were like, "Yeah, we know you said it. We know. We already know. We were gonna act like you said it, but we know you said it." That I thought they was only gonna win 7 games. That I laughed or I chuckled sometimes in training camp when they was talking about playing in January and February. I'm like, okay, all right, maybe my poker face wasn't all that good that day. My bad, y'all. My bad. I'm sorry. But like, it's a very real thing because injuries going to happen.
Yeah.
Um, but then speaking about Sam Cosmi, Adam Peters shared with us that Cosmi's doing incredibly well after his surgery. They're
Hmm.
not going to rush him back, but they were like he is in there every day
Hmm.
already, just rehabbing, recovery, trying to get back, all the things. Um, and you hated to see him or anybody go down, but word up to the training staff, and that is a lot to do with overall performance.
Hmm. No, I think that Cosby coming back is going to be like Cosby. I mean, he could do it. I mean, he's a to me as a guy who tore his ACL. I tore my ACL and my meniscus. I just feel like the first year of it, like you're not going to be yourself. I mean, you can come back and you can play football. He'll be able to play football, but he won't be the
Hmm.
same Sam Cosby in year one because you won't be able to trust his knee like that. And most of you watch most NFL players who come back from ACL, they don't trust. You're only person I can say that comes to mind that
Hmm.
came back the same as Adrian Peterson. Like he just came back different after he like blew his knee. So Cosme, I feel like you won't get the real Sam Cosme, especially playing offensive line, where
Hmm.
you bend and you fold all the time, and if you're you're always in vulnerable position in the offensive line. So I just feel like you'll get the space, you'll get the Sam Cosby you need probably in the year, the second year. And then that's the Cosby that folks can rely on. I would almost redshirt him this year, to be honest with you, because it happened towards so late in the season. I would not even sweat trying to bring him back because I want the best. Because you already signed him to an extension. I personally would want the best. I would want the best version of Sam Cosby.
Oh yeah, they made it very clear. He made it very clear. We're not rushing him back, but he also was being very clear that Cosby is working his behind off.
Yeah.
So, hey, ain't gonna tell nobody what they can and can't do, but they're going to not rush him, which also brings me to, I can kind of sense, I can't prove it, but I can kind of sense, when Adam Peters gets questions about Marshawn Lattimore, he doesn't get defensive at all, but he wants it to be clear that a very injured Marshawn Lattimore is who came to the Washington Commanders. Okay, he knew he was hurt. But going back to the point of the training staff and what he believes Marshawn can be and can do in this setting with the off season and all, the team definitely already loves him. I bear witness to that. His teammates absolutely love him. He loved them. He was injured, so even for him to play at the level or at all, goes back to my point of this training staff and what they're able to do and accomplish. But he wants it to be very clear. And I know a lot of people are like, why would you trade for somebody that was hurt? Well, that's just how much he believes in him and what he can bring to the defense.
Yeah.
So I just think that's an important point because somebody, of course, he gets to ask that question, not just from, it's another important point that people, should know about Combine. When they do media availabilities, and shout out to the Commanders PR staff, because they're, and other teams do this as well, where they have like the larger media availability, and I mean, anybody can come.
Yeah.
Right. Anyone all across national analysts, media from other teams can all come to that. But Commanders PR makes sure we have our own availability local.
Oh, okay, to carry on. Okay.
We have our own. Who is this? What is this? Somebody asked me.
You got a question from Paul. You got Paul from Paul. You see a Paul? Who you asking? Which question you asking about? Paul has a question for you.
Yeah, Paul's question.
Candi, are we on two timelines? Win now and build the roster.
It's one timeline.
Okay, so he's saying
win now.
Win now. Okay, it's part of the same. I guess he says it's the same time. It's the same line. Like win now and build the roster. Yeah.
Because when we're talking build, it's development is out.
Yeah, everybody like
you know how before people would be like,
oh, we about to talk about
you know what I mean? Oh, you got to give them 2-3 years to do the not these people. They got to be able to perform now. Free agent and draft, right? But the result of the performance has to be win now. They itching because they really didn't think they were going to lose that NFC Championship game. They didn't.
Yeah, they shouldn't.
They did not think they were going to lose. And I'd be shocked because I'd be like, well, I was just happy for everybody to be here for real. And they just do not, as much as they like me, they don't like when I say things like that. They don't think it's funny. I don't appreciate it. And that's just me being honest with you all because, I pride myself on being transparent and honest. They don't like it when I say that. I'm just happy to be here. They be like, well, you just happy to be here. You earned it too. You sit up in here, you come out with this stuff all day. Hey, you know what we putting into this. You earn it, we earn it. Happy to be here. Ain't nothing ain't nothing, they don't like that when I say that. So
Shawty funny. She said, thank the good Lord, no more 3 to 5 year plan.
No, that's out.
Yeah, that dude was just lying. That dude just lying because he was failing.
He
he was lying.
Nice man. I'm not gonna talk bad.
Hey, FYJ, I'm letting folks know on it. James Pierce from Tennessee, a guy that actually went defensive, the edge rusher ran a 4.5 on the 40. So just let you know, that's a guy I'm keeping my eye on. So just let folks know that he ran a 4.5 in the 40. But actually, let's shift gears too, because I saw a question from Kevin.
Back to edge rushers.
You want to go edge? Go ahead.
He did real quick. AP did talk about that as well.
He did. Okay. All right. No, what?
Not people's names, but he just some traits. Of course, relentless, physical, speed and power.
Speed and power.
Speed and power. He made it clear, and I asked him offside. That is two different things. You should be fast, and you ain't got the power.
And powerful.
You got speed and power.
Speed and power. That's tough for 25th. Oh.
Hey, exactly. That's what I'm saying. You got to use your clues.
Oh, that's only one person that he trying to get Myles Garrett.
Well, I mean, but I've done my usual clues on that one. I did my usual clues on that one a long time ago. I'm not doing that again.
You trying to get Myles?
He answered it. And all I'm saying is,
you trying to get Myles for real.
Speed and power. But then who's the next?
Crossbow Myles Garrett. Yeah.
Speed and power. See, this is why I'm here. This is why you actually come on, Wall, because I'm gonna give you some clues.
I know, I got you. Look, Candi. I know. This is why we rap. Yeah, you said got it. Oh,
I agree. Right. I agree with y'all. I agree with that comment. Because even myself, thank you so much, Shelly. But yeah, no, I even myself, because I make these comments like, man, I'm just happy to be here, and they be like, that doesn't help.
Yeah, God,
that's not helpful. You can't say stuff like that because we like you too much, and we don't want you to say stuff like that because we like you.
I like that. I like that they respect you. That I like that they like you.
They do. Respect me enough to say, can you not say that, please?
I like that. That's dope because you don't get, a lot of folks don't get that. That's
they would have held it against me behind my back, and I would have never known because I was just joking. But I'm serious. But
yeah, here Todd said, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Fans have to get away from the early '90s mindset of building a roster. Due to contracts, job tenure, etc. Every year is win now, especially when you have your quarterback. Yeah, definitely agree.
And I think everybody probably, well, not everybody, but people probably saw, because I think I can mention at least this, because he's not a commander anymore, not a former commander. He's a former commander. As you said, he was the Redskins and never a commander. Josh Norman, and we did.
I saw.
I had a conversation with Josh about the current team, and. He didn't have nothing bad to say because who's gonna have anything bad to say about that? But he was just like, didn't think anybody was expecting the team to do. You're gonna do well based on the organization, and because of the organization, these are people that know what winning looks like and they know what it takes to get there. Oh yeah, that's DQ. We people. So. Because like yesterday in DQ's, I joked with him after. I was like, DQ, I just got out your scrum because I was like, I don't want to, I'm let everybody else have their moment with Dan Quinn. I can talk to him. And I did.
He did. Look, I knew it. When I told him again, and you were like, when you question it, I told you Dan Quinn likes you. You're like, I don't know. He told everybody like that.
Nah, but he does.
Nah, yeah. A vibe is a vibe. Everybody know when a vibe is different. You know what I'm saying? That. Like you could tell when somebody just cool with somebody like, like they cool with somebody. You know what I'm saying? So
I appreciate it.
Nah, that's different.
But
appreciate you, Paul. Appreciate you.
Yeah, no. I'm gonna keep I was about to say something.
Appreciate you, Paul.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you.
Always appreciate that.
Thanks.
Yeah, exactly. You told Lamar. You told her the same thing. Yeah, I be trying. I know, man. She acting like everybody treat her. No, he treat everybody saying he don't. He got an extra smile when for certain people. For certain people, it's just a job.
I appreciate that, y'all. Really, seriously, I do, because I really try hard to do good reporting and just and just using your clues so we can figure it out without getting the answer, because that's the easy way out. Just give me the answer. Now, in some respects, they do give the answer. They do give the answer.
Facts.
I'm gonna tell you all another one. Unsolicited, right? Unprompted. Coach Quinn just brought up Bobby Wagner 2 times yesterday,
Yeah.
right? Bobby is absolutely a free agent, but he wants it to be very clear that he wants Bobby Wagner to be on this team.
Yeah, hopefully, man.
And that he believes, and hopefully is the right way to say this, because
Yeah.
I've in conversations out here, he is a sought after human.
Yes.
People are pulling out all the stops to get
He's
that
a
man.
must. He's a must.
They're pulling out a lot of little tricks to
Mhm.
try to get Bobby Wagner.
Yeah.
But you know, Dan Quinn he brought him up, a couple times, and he's one of the people that made this season what it was. And so that let me know, even in that moment, I was like, he's soliciting, because he know what it is. And these weeks like this, people find out like they offered him what? They gonna offer him what? It's one of those types of situations. So the Commanders definitely got some competition there.
So we got Todd. Got a question for you. He said, "How do y'all feel about the new NFL mindset? Seems the Rams gave their whole team permission to seek a trade. Do y'all think this is a rare moment or going to be a brand new trend?"
That's funny. They gave the whole team.
They are, man. They did though. Basically, like the whole team is requesting a trade.
Yeah, you go ahead and you look.
Yeah. We
You
trying to
look
pay
too.
you. You go look.
Right. And so
yeah, he real good. He real good, Mama Wall.
he's real good. I do hope he stays. I really
Mhm.
do. That's my slight solicitation in case he's watching. But I think so. I think the Rams. This is another way of doing business. You want to trade? You go find your own trade.
For real.
It takes the pressure off the front office to find it. You and your agent, y'all gonna find it. Bring it back to us, and then they'll see. And in some cases, and you kind of heard Adam Peters say this a little bit in his presser, not with the local squirm. I think it was in the larger media availability about Jonathan Allen, right? They had a conversation, and they were like, if you find something, bring it to us, and we'll see.
All right, might as well let's tackle it. Let's tackle the Jonathan Allen thing. I do want to go to that next, but I think Deluxe has a question. After the Deluxe question, we're going to tackle Jonathan Allen.
Okay.
Deluxe says, "Is there any free agent that you know most likely won't be back?"
Yes.
She won't tell you. I'll tell you the one. Hey, all right, I'll tell you one. I mean, I have no. First off, I'm gonna ask you this question. I don't know if I'm right. I feel like someone told me something. I thought he was a free agent. All right. Benjamin St. Just is a free agent, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, look, Deluxe. I'll say it for you. He ain't coming back. She don't gotta say it. I don't even know if she know. Like, she may think differently. She may know more than I. She definitely probably know more than I. For me, he ain't coming back. That's all I'm gonna tell you. For me, he ain't coming back. That's all I'm gonna say. For me, personally, he ain't coming back. That's all I'm gonna say.
I mean, it's a lot of free agents. It's like 28.
I know it's a lot. He ain't only. And look,
he's not the only one.
I'm calling him out.
I guess I gotta say that. Whoops. I guess I gotta throw. Whoops. My bad. I guess I gotta just say that. Man.
Oh yeah, Davis too. Yeah, Davis.
Tired.
Oh man, I'm just saying.
Y'all got me good on that one.
I'm about to say. All right,
let's go to
Jonathan Allen, man. All right, so Jonathan Allen, the Commanders are openly shopping him.
But I think it goes back to the Rams point.
Yeah,
the Commanders are not. They are doing the work.
Yeah, the players doing the work. Yeah, but they let him know, like, if you want to. Was it or how did the discussion go?
Go ahead. That's where I think some things need to be clear.
Yeah.
Because in Adam's media availability with the larger group, it was almost like it was brought to them.
Oh, okay. Because he made it seem like, I know it. That's what it sounded like. But the reports made it seem like he.
It did.
Yeah.
But it was brought to them. But you still have to grant permission.
Yeah, exactly.
but it was brought. It wasn't like we're trading you.
According to Adam Peters' presser, right?
The first one, yes.
Yeah, because
With
I felt like the
everybody.
report was like how I read the report, right or whatever, wrong or whatever. The report was Washington pretty much like I made it seem this way. It's best for you to try to request a trade because you probably won't be back here anymore.
I mean, it's a bag of tricks,
Yeah,
okay?
you know what I
Because
mean.
it's a bag of tricks. It's almost like
No, I don't want
it's
you to like. I
like
don't want you to
no,
like.
you know,
Yeah,
I'm gonna figure out how to say it, but it's almost like y'all know y'all kind of don't get along. You don't really want to be together anyway. So somebody
okay,
got to come to the table and be like,
got
look,
you. I got you.
you
I got you.
know,
I got you.
nobody's shocked.
Yeah,
Does
I
that make
got
sense?
you.
Like, there's no surprise.
So you weren't shocked? Because I ain't gonna lie, I was shocked. I was like, because I felt
Well,
like I'm gonna tell you why I was shocked though, because I felt like dude played with a pec
I was
injury.
very impressed with them. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie. I was
and he
very
played well in
impressed.
the playoffs, and I was like,
Just
that
it's
I don't know.
something that I can't figure out just yet
Okay,
about it, if that makes sense.
okay, I got you.
Um, because you remember it's been a lot of rotation right there with that defensive tackle
No,
position,
it
right?
has, it
And then
has.
remember they released Fedarian. You
Mm-hmm.
know, after the bye. Was that right before the bye? After the bye? It was after the bye when they released Fedarian. It was for sure later in the season, but there's been a lot of little movement right there
Mm-hmm.
with that defensive tackle position.
I'm with this.
And the way it was worded, the way Adam Peters worded it was, yeah, he brought it to us and we, you know, understood, and those were tough conversations to have. And so who knows, you know,
Yeah,
it's the
it's
piece of
weird.
the story, it's the piece of the
This
puzzle is
piece is
not
missing out there.
there.
I'm with you.
The puzzle is under the bed somewhere. It's probably in, you know, somewhere around here, but we just don't have it yet.
And that's
Of
good. Like
who
that's
said
yeah.
right.
And that's good. And honestly, that's because the
Because
old
he is on the contract, so he
yeah,
does have to get permission
yeah.
to see a trade. That is the part of it. Oops,
Mm-hmm.
damn, you hear me? Yeah,
Yeah,
y'all
I hear
can.
you. I got you.
You do have to seek permission.
Yeah.
Um,
And
but
Deluxe says all
he's yeah.
options. All and Deluxe has said all options, including a return for a year, are still on the table, in my opinion.
Well, yeah. I mean, Adam
It is.
Peter said that. He said, I mean, there's a possibility that he goes. There's a possibility that he stays.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and he made that very now that yes, he made that very clear. There is a possibility. All of it is possibility.
Nah, he was playing up his own trade value. I wouldn't say like I said this before about Jonathan Allen. To be real with you, and I've said this before, people just don't like. They don't like a lot. They didn't like a lot of his pep talks and stuff like that. A lot of people have issues with it. It is what it is. But I will say this about Jonathan Allen because in my opinion, you can look at the stats too. The stats they speak for itself. He is one of the more productive D tackles over the last 7 years in the NFL.
For
Period.
sure.
So,
Absolutely.
period. So whatever
He
folks
is.
want to say, you can say. That's fine. I said this before. Like last year, he got last year. I mean, this upcoming season, he got hurt towards the end, so we don't really know how to gauge the season. But people they weren't thrilled the way he played. But I would say before his injury, he was playing better football. That's one. If you want, and the year before that, y'all people are judging him off of playing with plantar fasciitis. That is hard for anybody to play with. If you ever had that injury, so for him to even try to leg it out throughout that season, speaks volume to him as a football player. Yeah, granted, people don't like when someone's doing all this rah-rah talk and yah-yah talk when the team is losing. That's always gonna kind of rub some people the wrong way. But in terms of being productive in the NFL, dude has been very productive. To be honest with you, and I'm gonna be real, and everybody knows I like Deron Payne. He's been more consistent than Deron Payne, and I like Deron Payne. He's been way more consistent than Deron Payne. So, he's a two-time Pro Bowler. Yeah, the
I
detail. Yeah,
mean, Jonathan Allen should get his flowers.
football player.
I think he get a bad rap, but he should get
Yeah,
his flowers.
he's not. He's a good football player. So I'm just saying,
He is.
when he gets a full season, the dude can ball. Like that's what it is. You know what I mean? So that fans don't get it. Like, yeah, he gets
What did he say?
many fans are hurt by what he said, more so than I agree with you. Deluxe, I agree with that.
What did he say?
It's like what he said. I think he said something about. I want to say something about. Was it before. It was something about
Oh, you talking about before this season?
yeah, before the season, not this
Oh,
season, before the season. I forgot what it was. I think something about not being here or something. Something it was something. You said something
all
like
right.
that.
Mm.
Yeah,
Truth
and that's what
hurts
the other
though.
regime
Truth hurts
like.
though. Truth hurts though. I mean, hey, the numbers don't lie. Okay, this team was
He may not like the
last,
scheme. It's possible, but
last in the NFLPA survey, dead last, and in 1 year it has jumped to 11.
yeah,
So the reality is, it was,
he,
hurt or not, this was some bad stuff.
yeah,
It was some bad stuff
yeah.
for
I just
real.
don't like him getting like I like because I
Should he have
always
said
talk
it?
about
Should he have said it out loud in that manner? No,
nah he shouldn't have.
I'm
But
never going to agree with that.
yeah,
But he didn't lie. He
yeah, he
performed.
wasn't, and I just don't like a lot of not folks in this chat, but a lot of folks they make it seem like he's not a good football player. Like
Yeah, no, no,
he's a
don't let
really
that
good
be.
football player. Like bro, like a lot of people would love to have him as their defensive tackle. They would a lot of folks would like to have him there. Um,
I think yeah,
but
it's a piece
again,
of the puzzle that's
yeah. But I do agree with
not
Paul though. I
complete.
do, and I've said this. I don't know personally. I don't know if like he may fit their scheme or he may not. It may not fit his the way he plays ball. Like, it's possible. It is definitely possible. Yeah, and he wants an
Mm-hmm.
extension. Yeah, and they probably don't want to give him an
Mm-hmm.
extension. I totally get it. Like I
Mm-hmm.
get it. Like he's paid a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it's gonna be worth decent amount of money. He's not an older player. He's gonna be worth decent amount of money. And plus he's coming off an injury, so you may not want to, may not want to pay him as much. And knowing that, this is the final year, it's definitely a contract year, so he's gonna be playing harder. So he's gonna probably make more, ask for more money. It's gonna probably be some exceedingly crazy amount of money if he plays well. So I get it.
Yeah,
Huh?
I
I
mean
get it.
that's what kind of turned our week upside down. We talking about like the work week when that was announced. I was some of us was just walking into the convention center. Depending on how you first find things out, somebody might get a text message like
Yeah,
I got text, and then it was like National about to post it, and I looked and
yeah,
they had posted it. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna
yeah,
post it because I'm putting my stuff down in the media work room. All right, here we go, everybody. Um,
yeah. That's how folks are. Like,
and
I would keep him on board. Huh? Go ahead. You
it's
okay?
hard
Yeah.
because it almost makes you be like, I almost feel like the only two people from the past regime that's like safe is Terry and Jeremy Reeves.
Oh, that from the last regime, that's safe.
Mm-hmm.
Cosme.
Oh well, right.
And Reeves. You're right. Reeves,
Yeah,
Cosme,
Terry.
and Terry. Is that it? Dang, is that it for real?
I,
Oh yeah,
I
and the punter, right? The punter's got to be safe, right? Is he safe?
I said what I said.
Okay. All right. All right. All right. You said it. That's tough. That's tough.
I'm using my clues right.
I got you. I got you. Like I said, the defense is not setting the edge. Hurt the D tackles. I do production this season. Need complimentary football
Yeah, I mean
along the line.
people
I
are
agree.
all over. It was a lot of media in here for the media availabilities for the defensive line and the defensive tackles.
Yeah, I know.
Like the edge rusher. It was a lot,
Nah, I know
and
because it's a
I
need.
was shocked. But it's a deep category, and a lot of teams. I'm telling you,
There's a lot of teams.
The
It's
Eagles
deep
put on a
though. If you do
clinic.
your work,
The
if you do
Eagles
your
put
work,
on they Eagles put on a clinic in the Super Bowl.
yeah,
Everybody was like, "What
they
are
know what they
we
need.
watching here?" Oh my gosh!
They know what they need.
And yeah,
They
because
know what they
I'm gonna tell you something else that it showed. I'm gonna tell you something else that it showed because I'm gonna be very transparent about this
need.
as
Mhm.
well. I didn't think it really resonated with me in a positive way how many Commanders fans I saw speaking negatively about Mikey Sarenstill after the Super Bowl.
Talking negatively about Mikey?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of that
Oh, I ain't see that. Why are you talking about Mikey?
because of Cooper, because of the Cooper's
Because
play
they got
in
a
that
defensive
game.
line. That's why Cooper only look good because the
Thank
defense.
you. That is what I've been saying. Look at the difference in playmaking abilities it brings up for your linebackers as well as your DBs when you got a defensive line causing that kind of havoc.
That's wild. They talking about Mikey off of yeah, because they
I saw
defensive
it.
line. Yeah,
That's what I was saying, and I was like,
that was it.
"Whoa,
Yeah, if we
hold
running for
on,
if
everybody."
They play zone. Mikey's playing more one on one anyway. They was playing zone.
And I was just like, well, wait a minute, come on.
Yeah, Eagles play zone. Like I agree. Eagles play
And I
zone.
was just
Like
like, what are you? But I'm just saying, it
no, I hear you.
became,
People. I mean,
yeah, it became a. I don't know why Adam Peters. That's the only move that Adam Peters did last year that I didn't like. Why they trade da 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 da.
oh,
Because
they
that was a
sound.
trade, a
Yeah,
trade back
they
up,
sound
whatever,
real foolish right now.
right. But I was like, come on, everybody.
Yeah, they sound real foolish right now. Talking about Mike. Yeah, fans know nothing. Yes, he said he saw it. Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
because the
yeah, yeah.
trade.
No,
Oh, the
I was
Eagles.
saying that.
Okay,
I was
because of
seeing
the
it. I
trade
was
with the
seeing it,
Eagles.
and
Crazy
I'm
talk
like,
in my
but
opinion.
but
Wow,
one of the things that I was saying from
wow, it's
back during
crazy.
training camp and back during the summer was the defensive line. When you have a defensive line that gets that kind of pressure, it creates havoc.
Yeah,
We've been talking about that all week. We were like, Patrick Mahomes ain't had no time. Now, if you go back to Commanders versus Eagles round one,
hmm
that was one of the questions I asked Coach Kingsbury about that defensive line and about that defense. And he said it. He was like, they're so physical and they're so fast. That goes back to speed and power. It goes back to speed and power.
yeah.
And Coach Kingsbury, he said that round one, before Thursday night football. He was like, they're so fast. If you're not he said that about the Steelers defense too. But he also was like, you don't have time to think.
Mm,
You gotta move really fast. And so yeah,
mm. She said, "Oh yes, yeah."
somebody else had a question.
I shared this tweet with Chick about who the Chick Hernandez.
Oh, what did he say?
He said, "I ain't there yet. Basket and not speculating about anything about who the Commanders should get a defensive
Oh,
line."
oh yeah. But we all dodging that question.
Yeah, I see.
We all dodging it.
I see. I see. He said, "Well, your man even said playing zone is all about getting interception." Yeah, I don't really. Yeah, I know. That's I don't get it. They play zone. Like fans are. I know what. I'm not going to. Know what? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to criticize fans. I told myself I'm not going to be a negative person, as negative as I
Hmm.
can be. You know what I mean? As I can be. But yeah, back on to Jonathan Allen. I do think that, like, yeah, I think they're going to try. If they're going to try to trade. I feel like this regime is good at what when they say they're going to try to trade you, they're going to try to get rid of you. I feel like it's one way or the other. You know what I mean? Oh, Savannah. Okay, you like Williams, the pass rusher, right? He a pass rusher. Savannah and Williams. Yeah, he's the pass rusher, right? He's the edge rusher. Hey, correct. Hey, truth. He's the edge rusher, right?
Hmm.
I think he's the edge rusher
Who?
for Savannah and Williams. He's an edge rusher, right? No, no, he's not. It's the receiver. Yeah, I thought he was a pass
Yes.
rusher. He's a receiver, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, it's the receiver. My bad. The receiver.
Yes.
I apologize. Yeah, receiver. It's Missouri.
He's
Is
receiver.
Missouri?
He definitely receiver.
Yeah, Missouri, right? Is he Missouri? Yeah, y'all can go.
Tell
Yeah,
Chick I
make
said,
sure I
hey,
chime in.
is Chick still
I mean, I
here?
don't want a receiver. I take a receiver. My thing is, I'll take a receiver in like the second, third. I mean, the third round. I look, man. I'm gonna be real. Oh, TCU. Oh, TCU. That's right. The kid from TCU. Sorry, my bad, bro. TCU. Nah, man, we ain't doing TCU no more, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. Josh Dotson. We got a lot of bad TCU draft picks. I ain't gonna lie to you. There's a lot of it, and real talk. There's a lot of
But Brandon
bad
Coleman,
TCU.
didn't he go to TCU?
Who?
Brandon Coleman.
Yeah. I'm talking about wide receivers though. Yeah.
Oh, you talking about receivers? I was like, he
Yeah,
was.
receivers. TCU receivers haven't been panning out. I ain't gonna hold. Yeah, I use that. Ain't
Mhm.
been panning out. The kid that plays for the Chargers went to
I know.
TCU. He ain't panning out. Them TCU receivers are kind of hard to really try to be like you want them. They ain't gonna lie to y'all. The TCU receivers ain't been good of late. One thing that's a
Hmm.
guarantee: every fan has a voice. Some will be right, some will be loud and wrong. Very true. Wait, this is Gale Sayers? Like the Gale Sayers? Sayers?
I mean, it's like I have a question. I almost have a
Watching this
question for
thing.
everybody because I'm really like interested
Ask
in
a
knowing how
question.
people, which is like, what are you all's thoughts? Like, what grade do you give the Commanders in their draft last year? Because remember last year, I think I
True.
told you, I said I'm not gonna do
Trades to
draft
till like the end.
grades until the season is over,
True. True.
right? And now that you know what I mean, but really think about it, the number of
Mm-hmm.
rookies that actually started and what their
Ooh.
contributions and impact. was to the team and in game. So it's like, how did what do people think about their draft grade?
Paul gets it an A+.
Yeah,
I
he's
gave it. I
good.
give it a.
I
You
give
got
it, give it
starters. You got all starters out of it. You got
almost all
Jaden.
started. I think you got
You got Jaden.
almost
You got Coleman. You got Mikey
Johnny and Mikey.
and Johnny. They all started. Yeah, I give it a
I
B.
think
I give it a B.
yeah, I was about
I
to
give
say
it a
I think
B.
I got to give it a B
I give it a B.
because
Jaden is
I,
just
I
because
wanted to
Jaden
see
makes it
more
really
from
good though.
Luke and Luke and Ben. I want to see more from Luke and Ben.
No, okay. Oh, I
And
just
that
want to
is
see
why I give it
McGee.
like a
I
B.
wanted to see more McGee. That's who I want to see.
I did too. I talked about him a
Yeah,
whole lot, and
Kevin's
that was
A
one of the
minus.
picks that I was very happy about. But he was injured.
Todd said B Moms they got a lot of starters, but some guys I expected to play didn't see the field enough. Yeah.
But that's
I
a
mean,
good
I already
answer. When you
told y'all
say
about
you
Luke
did
though.
about
Y'all don't get
B.
mad at me, but I already told y'all about Luke, but y'all
Luke
didn't
got
want to listen
promise
to me.
though. But hey, I mean, Luke got promise, and he did pretty good
He
on
got
his
promise.
on
I
his
just said that
play.
Luke ain't. I told folks Luke got promise. He's raw. People get mad. I was like, but he's not what they were trying to make him out to be. That's how I looked at Luke. I was like, I didn't say Luke was bad, but I just didn't think he was out. Like they made Luke sound like he was a day one starter. I looked at Luke like as a project. Like I think he can be a day one starter in year 2, year 3. I end up liking Luke a lot more than I thought I would, but I didn't think he was a day one starter though.
He was all right with returns. What I did appreciate
I love
is
his
their
returns.
what I appreciated was their consistency around Diami.
I
Because
loved it.
remember I was
Yeah,
talking about and asking
I'm
them
serious.
about Diami in training camp,
Mm-hmm.
and you saw it come up in impact moments throughout the season, and then of course playoffs, which I
Mm-hmm.
really thought was dope. They what they say and what they do match.
Yeah. No, I agree with you,
I
Candy. I
mean, a lot
told
of people are talking about scrimmage, line of scrimmage. It is very important. We all know that, but I
that's very
definitely
important to
take a
me.
look at the running back position.
That too. I know. I think that's
That is
so.
that is
So,
that is that is another
so
position group that we ain't talking about, and that
no,
is
no,
one
no.
that
I think this is the thing.
absolutely
I'm with
gotta.
you. So I agree with you, Candy. I was saying that but I didn't want to. I think you can get that in the second round. There's only like one player I want, and my man Paul know. There's only one player I want in the first round at the 29 at running back, and that's Travion Henderson at Ohio State. I know. I'm picking an Ohio State dude, and everybody knows I'm a Michigan fan. But like he's the only one because he's a game breaker. Like his speed is game changing. So
Mhm.
I just feel like I feel like they need a running back who's a game changer, not like a running back. I mean, a guy who could take it to the house, not a guy like 'cause I feel like I like B Rob. Like I'm one of the people who actually like B Rob. I like B Rob,
Mhm.
but they need somebody who could
Mhm.
take it to the house. They need guys who get that
Mhm.
50, 40, 60-yard run. They need them dudes. All right. It's good to have 5'5". Don't get wrong, wearing a team down, but you need that guy who can really turn up. Eckler was good, but he's older, so he's lost some of the breakaway speed anyway. You know what I mean? And also he's injury prone. But they need a young dude
Yeah, the
who's
concussions.
explosive.
But I went back and watched some of those games, and I was like, because I'm gonna tell you what game. Let's also go back to the point of Austin Eckler was out a lot this
He
season,
was.
and still was an All Pro special
Mm,
teamer in
yeah.
returns.
Yeah.
That's how you know he was on a fire.
No, he played
For
well in
him
the
to
beginning of the year. He was
still,
awesome.
yes, because I went back and watched that Cincinnati. I went back and watched all them games. Remember, he actually had a touchdown in week 2 against the Giants, but they brought it
Agreed.
back due to I think it was
Yeah,
a
stupid
holding
penalty.
penalty on Nick
Holding penalty.
Ballore. It
Yeah.
was super random. I went back and watched. I was like, that wasn't even okay. But the Cincinnati game, he ate until he
Agreed.
got hurt
Mm-hmm.
for sure. Austin was, oh gosh,
No, he was
he was
amazing.
incredible. I
Yeah,
was like,
awesome.
man. And but that dual player there too, right? Yeah, he made some impact plays. We saw him make some impacts even when he came back.
Mm-hmm.
He was a difference maker in some of those games for sure, and just getting the ball downfield.
Totally.
And so I'm gonna go back to just the emphasis around the running back position,
Mm-hmm.
right? When you see I think it was when it might even been when the Commanders played the Eagles too. But I know
Mm,
for sure when the Ravens and the Eagles played, it had a picture of Saquon versus Derrick Henry. It
mhm.
really reminded me like, yeah, wow, this is like a lot of emphasis on the running back. Um, they need somebody that's going to be able to create and get down the field. You got to be able to make some
Yeah,
moves.
you got to.
Um, hmm,
They're gonna need
because this
somebody.
is key. It's key.
Yeah, they're gonna need somebody to
And
kind of
and
replace.
everybody knows how I feel about B Rob. So this is not a dig on
Yeah,
B
it's
Rob.
not a slant on B Rob. No, there's none. It's just like
Not at
somebody said.
all.
Deluxe said it.
Anybody that knows, they
Yeah,
know, how how I'm about the kid. So
Deluxe said it here. B Rob and a young Eckler type is what's needed. So it's the complementary player. Like they need a
yeah.
younger, like a younger Eckler. Like Eckler in his youth was a guy who would take it to the
Mhm.
house.
Yeah.
Eckler now is a guy like has to feel fresh. Like he's not a younger, like he has to feel fresh to kind of see those legs work the same way. You know what I mean? Like he now, like Eckler now can get walked. Eckler back then didn't get walked. You know what I mean?
Never.
So that I get it. Like I'm totally with you. My man Kevin said, I see Bears talking about Allen. They talking about Jonathan Allen, really? Okay.
Yep.
I can see that. That's a good fit. I can see that. They already got Montez. I can definitely see that.
Hmm.
Um,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I heard you.
Y'all did not have to hear that deep sigh.
They already got Montez. I'm just saying.
Look, the business of football happens here, and once people, they just tell
Yeah,
you
look, they
stuff.
already got Montez.
They
I
just
can.
tell you stuff. I'm not saying there ain't no market for Jonathan Allen. There absolutely is.
There's definitely a market for Jonathan Allen. There's definitely,
There
folks like it or
absolutely
not,
is.
there's definitely a market for Jonathan Allen. They did, yeah, totally agree. Yeah,
Yeah, line of scrimmage, line of scrimmage, and running back.
yeah, totally agree. AK,
Priority.
so we about to end the show up, but before we end it, because I know you gotta get back to do some bit, you gotta do some work, man. We gotta do
Yeah.
some work. You gotta do some work. You
I
gotta
feel
do
like I've been
combo.
working too much. I feel like I'm just gonna go home. It's like no, I don't leave till Saturday. I don't leave till Saturday.
Hey, but before we let you
No,
go,
see, they
King,
haven't even seen me today. This how you know.
that's what I'm saying.
They
That's what I'm
haven't, I
saying.
feel
So we
me.
gotta
I
make
haven't
sure you
talked about
actually
that.
working, so you won't be missing out on stuff.
I am working.
I know you working. We gotta make sure you're seeing like these young dudes they running and trying to be new commanders. If I say the R word, new commanders.
Commander. I want to be
You
a
know what I
commander.
mean?
Yes, I actually do want to say this too. I think it's an
Go
important
ahead.
point. I don't want y'all to miss this point.
Hmm.
Did everybody see the NFLPA survey results?
No, I didn't see it, but I think you
You didn't
briefly
see it?
mentioned it. Say it again. Yeah.
So the last 2 years, the Commanders have been uh last
Last, you said they're like 11th,
32.
right?
Now they're 11.
11th, yeah.
Okay. But I want to share with you all the teams that are 1 through 10. Okay.
Mm.
Because I think this is important. Follow me now with the use your clues.
Yeah.
So the team that got number one,
Eagles.
right, NFLPA service, the Miami Dolphins.
Mm.
Then two, Minnesota Vikings. Three, the Atlanta Falcons. Four, the Raiders. Five, the Chargers. Six, the Texans. Seven, the Packers. The 49ers got eight. Detroit got nine. Dallas got 10. And so the Commanders are at 11. I'm looking at the list, right? Because that's what I say. Well, who was better? You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And I said, mm, Commanders got a better end of year record than all these teams,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
This culture and what they're building, starting with Josh Harris, because it starts from the top, right? Imagine a team who is rated the highest or one of the highest and also has one of the best records in the league.
Mm.
That's how you become a destination.
Mm.
Because when I asked the question about keeping the coaching staff together, what was said to me plenty of times was nobody wanted to leave.
Mm.
And that's huge.
I know they want to leave. I know that. I can tell. I know.
Nobody
I can
wanted to
tell.
leave.
No, but nobody wants to
There
leave.
were
I can
there were
tell.
offers.
Yeah.
Watch this. There were offers, y'all.
Yeah.
There were interviews and offers. They didn't want to leave.
Yeah, but some ain't gonna lie, some jobs are busted though. Some of them jobs are destined for failure.
But that's what I'm saying. I mean,
Yeah,
but some of these teams, they don't have the greatest records at all.
yeah. Like I know they
They don't
wouldn't.
have a, they don't
Like I
have a
know
better
Cliff
record
wasn't
than
going to no Saints. I already knew that. Like Cliff
and they
ain't
don't
going
have
to no
they don't
Saints.
have better record than the Commanders
They
either.
don't though.
So I'm
Facts.
like, when you really think about the Super Bowl champion Eagles, they was like in the 20s or something like that. The
Yeah,
Chiefs wasn't high up there, you know what I mean? In
which is
terms
wild.
of,
Yeah.
so now you have a place where coaches and players want to be in
Mm.
Washington. You've in 1 year. Let me also say this, and this is not to bring up old stuff, but it goes to show just how little
Putrid.
previous ownership
Yeah.
cared about players
Mm-hmm.
because it takes more than money to make somebody happy.
Facts. I
Okay,
agree with you.
because we know there's a lot of high paid players. It takes more than that to make them happy. And so when you really take a good look at that NFLPA survey and see each one of those categories and understand that in 1 year the team is at 11 from 32, and then you mirror that with their record, and only go but up.
Hopefully, yeah. Like, yeah. Hey, Kevin. Hey, Kev, don't remind
Look,
me,
look,
man. I miss
the
this
mink,
dude.
the mink.
He said, "Paul said that."
And
Let
some days,
me pull up what Paul said. Hold on.
and some yeah, because I said something about me. I probably should have wore it to the NFC Championship game to make everybody be like, Candy, I walked up in
You
here
should
with
have wore
me.
it today.
Hold
Maybe
on.
with better luck. I blame you now.
Yeah, it might have been my fault. I said, she
I
told me to
blame
wear
you
that mink
now.
coat today.
I blame
I
you. It's
said,
probably
she
better
told me
luck.
to slap that mink coat on today and wear it
Yeah,
like a cape, like James Brown. I wasn't even gonna wear it. I wasn't gonna put my arms in it. I was gonna wear it like on my shoulders.
I'm with that. I have better luck for the team. Hey,
Yeah, so
Kev. Yeah, don't remind me. I miss 71 every day. Every time football season goes around, I ain't gonna lie to you. Every time I watch him play for the Niners, I get mad. Like I curse Ron Rivera
sad.
every time.
How
I
you
know I
gonna
should be cursing the other
how
regime
you
too,
gonna
and
tell that
Snyder
man he
too.
got to prove himself to you?
Oops, I
Oh,
know.
he's
We
not.
said I got proved. You got to prove yourself to Ron Rivera. Every time I see that, like every time I see Trent in the Niners uniform, I get pissed off.
Mm,
Every time.
mm, mm, mm,
Every
mm,
time.
mm,
To me, the
mm,
most valuable by far the most talented from I mean now Jaden's here. Before like the most talented Redskin commander out in this area since probably yeah. Jaden be like the in since he's been drafted the most talented Redskin commander since he's been drafted.
he's a generational talent.
He was generational.
He changed. He
I
changed.
know you don't. It's hard to see
He
that from all.
changed
He
how you
changed
looked at offensive
offensive
linemen.
line. That's facts. Facts. Facts.
I don't grade him right to this day because of him.
Yeah. Yes. I don't know how to look at a left
I'm very
tackle.
tough on offensive
I ain't gonna lie
line.
to you. Like when people talk about like I have to really literally stop myself and say like that person ain't bad. We just comparing him to Trent. Literally, I do that all the
And I
time.
mean, let me speak
I
straight.
do that a lot.
I think Brandon Coleman had a fantastic
Yeah.
first rookie season. He did.
Yeah.
He did. He did. He did. Because I went back again, that Cincinnati game, that was the game. Everybody was like, okay, they on okay. He did very well against Trey Hendrickson.
Yeah, he did all right. He did good, but I don't even again him too. Like I've seen myself. I judge him. I Trent is bad for me. I'm not gonna lie. Trent is bad for me for him being here because I'll be like, yeah, you ain't all world. Like that's how I look at people now. Like because
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it. Like I've seen all world. It's a problem. I shouldn't have seen all world. I've seen all world. Like Trent dominates games, man. Like that's I hate that regime. I hate that regime so
Oh,
much.
and maybe one day I could talk to you all about what I learned from the referees. Because I don't know if
Oh,
you saw my post. I definitely had an extended conversation with
oh,
some
did you
refs on
really?
Monday. I said, this is why I probably should have came in later. Y'all done gave me too much time
Did you?
by myself. And I got caught out here with some refs. But I really
Oh yeah,
want to understand like
I
the
got some.
illegal man downfield infractions and stuff like that. And it's just,
Mhm.
I mean, I understand it now, but I mean, we're talking about this, and that's what made me think about that because I had a lot of questions around some of the offsides calls or the neutral zone infractions, legal
Did
man
you?
downfield, and
Mhm.
all that, you know. And I was understanding what they were saying, but
Know what you need? Yeah, hey, you need
I
to
understood what they were saying. I will say I've more clarity. I may not agree,
yeah.
they do have rules and they do have lines. I think the challenge is they're not consistent with calling it.
Hmm.
So that's like everything. So you really don't know what it is.
Yeah, they
And
just
sometimes they
trash.
call it and sometimes they don't.
They trash. Because you know what I would have just said? I would just ask them like every time they do the tush push, they offsides. How come you never call that? They already lining
Yeah, I
up
mean that's why they
offside.
want to get it banned. I think it's a brilliant play because they basically brought a rugby play into football, and ain't nobody call it. You know what I'm saying? Because technically it's not even
See, Deluxe,
legal.
me and you got the same. We
But
think the same way, Deluxe. Deluxe, that's what I
well,
was saying.
yeah.
Do they think the same way, Deluxe? Do
And
they
so,
ask? Did
I
you
mean,
ask?
the Packers, and then the Packers GM was like, we weren't really successful against it. And I'm like, no, nobody is,
Because they
but
line off sides.
but
They
it was,
line. They automatically already off sides.
yeah,
They
they
off sides, but they
they
don't
want to
never
get it
call it.
banned. They get it banned. They supposed to be getting it banned,
I
but
know it's great. Now I get to see that. Now they got to
but
own it. Now that's gonna ruin Jalen Hurts right there alone. I can't wait.
it was kind of funny when the refs was like, y'all have been put you out of my game. So you told I'd have been put you out of my game. I said, why?
Oh, is
Because
that
I
what he
told
said?
you.
That's what I said.
I said, for
Yeah.
what? Because I told you it was stupid. Stupid is a word. Stupid is a word. I didn't say you were stupid. I said that's stupid.
Yeah. I ain't care. I know that.
Stupid.
Man, don't get me started on refs. As a basketball coach, I can
But
say
I am
refs.
going to be learning a lot more. It's going to help. It's going to help. So
Okay, cool. I like that. Hey, so hey, Kenny, before we let you go, how can folks catch your content, and also how can they catch you on social media?
you all can follow on X at CWall SE. Make sure you are subscribed to Bowie TV and getting the content there as well. And you can follow me basically on any outlet under Candy Waller. My name's right there. So go ahead and give me a follow.
Yeah.
Um, I'll be out and about quite a bit.
First, yeah,
Busy
Candy is
off
awesome.
season, busy off season, y'all. I think this off season, it dawned on me this week that this off season is probably bigger than last off
It
season.
has to be because you're coming
It
off
has to
of
be
yeah, it
the
has to be.
bar. I mean,
Yeah.
who they told us who they are. They showed us who they are. So,
Yeah,
you
we
know,
should thank Frankie Louisville because he's kind of made it more apparent that this
listen.
thing needs to
In
not
that
be a thing
press
anymore.
box, I was like, they gonna put me out. I'm gonna get a warning. I was like, I'm gonna get a warning because I was like, I shouldn't even tell the story publicly, but I was literally up there like, do it again, Frankie, do it again, do it again. And it was like they're gonna grant a point. I was like, do it again.
I would
What
did
are
it
you
again
doing,
anyway.
Frankie? Do it again.
I would did
They're
it
gonna
anyway.
score. They're going to
You
score.
can't take away. I gotta stop
Do it
making up
again.
rules. You can't do that crap. You can't make up rules. You can't
Go
say we're
ahead
gonna
and
get
do
one
it
point.
because they're going to score.
Yeah,
But at
can't
that
say
point,
yeah.
Bobby Wagner's probably all upset because he's all disciplined and whatnot. And I was like, "See, this is why we would clash. This is the moment we would clash because I would be like, whatever, here we go. But he did
Oh, you
make it
think
more apparent. That's why I said word to Frankie Louvu because he made it out like this is ridiculous.
you think Grant's better? I think they're both good. I mean, I'm a Michigan fan, truth be told. Ah, I like that one though. I like both of them though. All right, well, Candy, thanks for being on, Candy. We're gonna chop it up again.
And we're gonna chop it up again because it's
You
a
already
lot more.
know.
I could be
There's a
talking
lot to
forever.
talk about, actually.
There's a
No,
lot to
it's,
talk about.
it's
There's
a
a lot to
lot.
talk about, and I'm already getting anxiety thinking about free agency starting. I'm like,
Oh,
oh my
that's free agent stuff is gonna be lit. That's what it's about.
god, oh on
Yeah,
it.
yeah. So, all right, Candy, appreciate you.
All right, see
All right,
y'all.
take
All
care. All right,
right,
see you, Candy.
bye.
All right, awesome, man. Candy's dope, man. You think where you get combine content from off the rip live, man? Here, that's where you get it from. Here, you know what I'm saying? You get it here, man. She there in the building, no doubt. Thanks. No problem, man. No problem. I'm saying no problem. Appreciate you, homie. Yo, thanks for the no problem, homie. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. But yeah, before we end, hey, before folks, if y'all still on here, make sure if you haven't subscribed to our Urban Sports and YouTube channel right now, just hit that red subscribe button. Also, like this video. When you like it, it helps us with the Commanders algorithm. Also, we're on a march to 1,000, so we close to 1,000. So if you can just go ahead and hit us with a hit the red subscribe button. Help us get to 1,000. We appreciate it, man. We're almost there, so every subscription matters, man. All lives matter. Every subscription matters. What Ty say? Love the fact that our front office is not leaking anything. I love that too, man. I love that too. Hey, man, Paul, you know I appreciate you, homie. Thanks, man. Appreciate the kind words, bro. Always appreciate the kind words. But yeah, man, we got a lot going on. I think I may do some like a couple more, combine shows. We're gonna actually for all Burgundy and Gold everything. We'll have a combine show at 9:30 We're gonna have Sheena Quick from Fox Sports Radio from 96.9 FM, 1340 AM. She'll be on there. I think y'all know her. She's gone viral for other reasons, so I think y'all know who she is. So she'll be on with us to talk about what she's seen in the combine. Probably she'll wrap up what's going on, like wrap up the whole the edge rushers. We talking about D linemen. We're gonna wrap it all up. So make sure y'all pull up to that show. It'll be on at 9:30. So pull up for that show. But yeah, I'm gonna try to do another combine show maybe tomorrow or Saturday, trying to talk about what we saw with cornerbacks. I do want to talk about cornerbacks, man. I do want to see with cornerbacks, you know what I'm saying? It's like 5 people on the Twitter side. I know, right? Yeah, I know. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. What's up, Paul? I'll be ready for that when I had I had meetings today. Yeah, appreciate you, Paul, man. Paul, always appreciate you. Taj, Paul, y'all be regulars, man. I already know y'all appreciate y'all, man. Y'all be regulars. But yeah, man. So make sure you pull up. Anyway, man, make sure you subscribe on in terms of our audio podcast. Make sure you subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and other podcast platforms. Just search the Urban Sports Scene. Also, follow us on X at Urban Sports Scene, IG at Urban Sports Scene, and TikTok at Urban Sports Scene. Also, like our Urban Sports Scene Facebook page, and also check us out on our website, which is www.urbansportscene.com. Yeah, man, appreciate it. Yeah, thank you, Taj, man. Make sure y'all do that, man. Make sure. Anyway, you've been listening to the Urban Sports Scene for ages. Deuces. Your boy Wole is out.
Peace.